Sacktown, what is going on? It is Sacktown Pete back at it again. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Happy Monday to everybody. I hope everyone's having a great Monday morning. I just want to talk about the upcoming potential candidates for the Sacramento Kings head coaching position. I know we're still far away from the season being over officially, but I think there's a good chance where the Sacramento Kings will look at bringing in a new coaching staff after the season. And I just want to talk about it. I'm willing to give Alvin Gentry a chance. Let's just see where it goes. But I really do feel like anytime when a GM takes over, he wants to bring in his own guy. And I feel like Monty McNair has a chance and potentially can do that after this season to bring in the guy he wants to bring in to lead this turnaround. I know we've said that so many times in the past, but to lead this turnaround and push forward and build this franchise moving forward. So, a couple of names I can think of that potentially think that the Sacramento Kings can and Monty McNair and staff can bring in and potentially look at and to take over head coaching duties and bring in his own coaching staff. There's three names that stick out to me. I'll give one name an honorable mention because he's a fan favorite here in Sacramento, but ultimately these three candidates are really better than him and have the experience, and that is I'm talking about Doug Christie. Yes, he's taken over current activities and duties over for Alvin Gentry, who's been out, and Doug Christie has done a fantastic job of taking over and coaching this team currently. But there's if there's gonna be candidates out there that are higher profile names that have more coaching experience than Doug Christie, that have been through the battles of the NBA playoffs more times as the head honcho than Doug Christie, the Kings need to look elsewhere. Doug Christie, nothing against Doug Christie. I have nothing against Doug Christie. Let me make that clear. Great guy, great dude. Fan base loves him. He's obviously a fan favorite. But my point is, I think that the Sacramento Kings should definitely go with the higher profile coach who has experience, who's been through the battles, where opposed to giving Doug Christie a chance. Now that could change because obviously the players love Doug Christie, but I just don't see him being a head coach for the Sacramento Kings as of right now, just due to the fact that there's going to be other candidates available, I think. But then again, I could be wrong because Luke Walton was the coach the last 2.5 seasons, and the players loved him. So I could be wrong, but let's talk about the three candidates that I'm talking about that the Sacramento Kings should really consider. The first candidate that sticks off to my head is Mark Jackson. I think the Sacramento Kings could definitely look at Mark Jackson and bringing him in. Mama, there goes that man. Great guy, great coach. He definitely built and defined the the Golden State Warriors team when they drafted, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green. He molded that team. He molded that franchise to where they're at right now. I mean, he is a player's coach. Obviously, Steph guys love playing for him. And he called it himself, man. He said, I got the two of the best shooters in the world to ever play the game, the greatest backcourt shooting, greatest shooting backcourt in NBA history. He called that before anybody else saw that. And the fact that when he announced that, people thought he was cuckoo and people thought he was crazy. But you fast forward time now, I don't think nobody's arguing with that. They are the greatest shooting backcourt history duo in the league or to ever play. And I'm talking about Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. So I feel like Mark Jackson has done before he got let go of, he did a fantastic job of building that Golden State Warriors team. And I really feel like he can be so pivotal to the Sacramento Kings organization of turning them around. Because before Mark Jackson, Golden State Warriors were not, who they were. They were the laughingstock of the NBA. I think we probably take that. We are currently at right now, but Golden State was the laughingstock of the NBA, and it just started with a cultural change. And I feel like Mark Jackson brought that when they hired him, and when him and his coaching staff built through the draft of getting Steph, Klay, Dre, other players, key role players that they signed. It was because of Mark Jackson's imprint of what he had on the team. So I think Mark Jackson will be a fantastic pickup playing or being the head coach of the Sacramento Kings. He was a former player a great point guard of his time. Obviously, we have De'Aaron Fox, Tyrese Halliburton, Davion Mitchell here. So that would be a freaking great pickup if I'm Sacramento Kings. Another candidate I want to talk about is Sam Cassell. I know you guys might think I'm crazy, but I think Sam Cassell is itching for a head coaching gig, and I feel like he played the point guard position just like similar to Mark Jackson, and he knows what it takes to win. And on top of that, I feel like he's been on coaching staff previous for a lot of teams, and I feel like he's had the experience to being on a couple coaching staffs, a part of the teams, and I think that that's only benefited and helped him. And it just reminds me a lot of like Steve Nash, because Steve Nash was with the Warriors as one of the coaches. Um, he was always itching for a job to be the guy to be the head coach, and now look at where he's at. He's in Brooklyn with the Kevin Durant and with the Harden and the Irving and those guys in Brooklyn. So I feel like Sam Cassell can definitely follow Steve Nash's footsteps, and I think that he can become a head coaching. He can become a head coach eventually, and I feel like the Sacramento Kings could definitely look at him and to making him the head coach, or possibly bringing him in for an interview him, see what his takes are, and go from there. But I honestly think that Sam Cassell, it's only a matter of time. He's going to be a head coach eventually in this league. And the other candidate I really like a lot. I feel like he shouldn't have let go of, but I get it. That team just obviously upgraded in talent, and they wanted to bring in the coach that they wanted. So that is former Brooklyn Nets head coach Kenny Atkinson. I like what he did in terms of development. I like how he developed, Deloading, Jared Allen, Spencer Dinwiddie. He was fantastic, and he took that Brooklyn Nets team to a couple playoff series, and they definitely were a fun team to watch. Before they got Kevin Durant, before they got Harden, before they got Kyrie Irving, and obviously Kevin Durant was highly voicing the front office that he wants to bring Steve Nash along and make him the head coach. So I get it, totally understand what they wanted to go in a totally different direction. But before the Brooklyn Nets, Kenny Atkinson had that team. He built that program. He had them playing really well, and they were developing. It took him a couple years, but he had D'Angelo Russell playing at an all-star caliber level. He had Dinwiddie becoming into a solid rotational player, and he had a young up-and-coming big man in Jarrett Allen, who was turned out to be pretty solid and legit, who is really balling right now in Cleveland with the Cavaliers. So I think Kenny Atkinson can be a legitimate pickup for the Sacramento Kings. He's currently a assistant coach for Steve Kerr and the Golden State Warriors. And, we know our owner, Vivek Ranadive, who was a former minority owner of the Golden State Warriors. And he has this thing about assistant coaches or the Golden State Warriors staff. And I feel like Vivek and Monty and staff should definitely look at Kenny Atkinson, man. I feel like he can, in terms of him playing or building our program and turning this ship around, I feel like he can do that because he's done it in Brooklyn. I feel like he has great guard already or potential building blocks here in Sacramento with the Fox, with the Halliburton, with the Mitchell. And I think that core, you can throw in Rashad Holmes in there. That's a good core to start and a good core to build around with. So that's what I think about that. Those three names, and nothing against Doug Christie. Like I said, man, he can definitely have a realistic option or had a shot at getting the head coach position here in Sacramento. But I feel like Sam Cassell, Kenny Atkinson, Mark Jackson are all miles ahead than Doug Christie in terms of coaching or being around coaching staffs and playoff caliber level players and organizations. That's why I would give those three the edge over Doug Christie, because Doug Christie has none of that on his resume. As a player, yes, of course, obviously, but I feel like he's a good assistant coach to have on the bench for sure. Preaches defense, but I feel like those three candidates, I would go those three candidates route before I would approach Doug Christie. So with that being said, guys, let me know your guys' thoughts. And like I said, guys, I just wanted to think far ahead. I just wanted to talk about what the potential coaching candidates can look like after the season. This is also no disrespect to Alvin Gentry. let's say Alvin Gentry is the guy that Monty McNair wants to keep. He could be the guy. He brought him on Luke Walton's coaching staff after last season, and he's taken over the helm since Luke Walton got canned. And I feel like Alvin Gentry could be the guy potentially. And I have nothing against Alvin Gentry being the guy. It would be cool to have Alvin Gentry be the guy moving forward after this season. Have him lead this team back to the playoffs and in this damn drought. So I love Alvin Gentry's offense. I think he's an offensive-minded guy. And he's proven that he's led good Pelicans, Suns teams that are all very offensive-minded teams to playoffs and postseason. So I have nothing against Alvin Gentry. I would love to have Alvin Gentry stick around and keep it going with him. But at the same time, if that doesn't work out, I think these are the three candidates that the Sacramento Kings could look into and potentially hire one of them after the season, is what I'm saying, guys. So with that being said, let me know your guys' thoughts. If you're new to my channel, welcome to my channel. Please hit the like, subscribe. I'll greatly appreciate it. And I will catch you guys pretty soon. I know that we got a basketball game coming up later on tonight. We do got the Golden State Warriors. So in San Francisco at the Chase Center. Looking forward to it, I guess. I know it's going to be tough, but it should be a game, I guess. So I will catch you guys later on tonight. That's going to do it for today's video this morning. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. You guys take care. Have a good one, and I'll catch you guys later on tonight. Peace.